this is Dr. Elona Gaball with Inspire Smiles, and today we are at Horizon Dental Studio with Todd Cochran, our most talented, amazing, and great ceramic artist. And we just wanted to show you what's, what his studio is like, because as a patient investing in aesthetic dentistry, you will be coming here for custom shade, because custom shades just make all the difference in the way that teeth appear natural in your mouth. So we'll start by just highlighting some of the things that make Todd amazing and great. So the first thing is the certification. So Todd is the only ceramist in San Diego County who is American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry accredited. So it's the highest level of accreditation that any technician can achieve. And in fact, I wouldn't even call him a technician. He's an artist again. It's the highest level of training anyone can achieve, as well as the rigorous process and all the testing that goes into it to be able to have that. So we have his diploma on the wall. It's right here. Again, accredited American Academy of Aesthetic Dentistry. All these beautiful portraits are portraits of real people that he has done work on and just changed their lives with the beautiful smiles he created. So these are just real photos taken by him. So that's the hallway, just highlighting his work. So the rest is his art studio. So there's an area where he works and he pours models and things like that in there. And then there's another area where he hand layers things and works on creating things. So he has magnification and different tools set up to be able to again create our pieces. And then he has a technology area that has all the latest technology involved in being able to integrate the skill level of an artist with the latest possible achievements and what technology can offer us. So these cool machines, and they're all awesome. There's digital design area and furnaces and things like that that make it all happen. Hello, this is Dr. Elona Gaball with Inspire Smiles, and today we are at Horizon Dental Studio with our most amazing ceramic artist, Todd Cochran. And we wanted to take time to just share with you on what goes into creating beautiful smiles and what it takes, the level of expertise and skill set, and also technology, and just how much work it is and how much we have to work together as a doctor and the ceramist. And many people just think like things just go to some lab somewhere, and it's not going to a lab. It is going to the super highly trained professional who is actually an amazing, really talented artist, and he creates each tooth by hand, and it's basically like making custom jewelry that is specific and precise for each person's smile and mouth, and it incorporates all the function and aesthetics, as well as highest level of materials. And again, the skill set is not just ubiquitous. So there are only certain people who are actually born talented artists is one. Also, only certain people who invest into training to that level, and also the synergy between the doctor and the ceramist is super important in communication. And we have a really great relationship, and we've done amazing cases together, and people are very, very happy. We have multiple photos and video testimonials of patients, and we just wanted to take this time to just talk about what that is. So, hi Todd, thanks for having us.
Hello.
It's a beautiful place. So could you please share just a little bit more about your training and what's involved in being the level of ceramist that you are, please?
Sure. So I'm Todd Cochran. I'm an accredited AACD ceramist, and one of the things that you mentioned and kind of what you were saying was the relationship, and I think that is one of the most important things with a dentist and technician's relationship. That allows us to communicate back and forth, treatment planning before we even start a case. We communicate and we look at photos and we come up with a plan, and having done that, it allows us to execute better on restoring patient smiles. And as far as as far as me, I am 25 years, I believe, now of experience, and I've worked in several different atmospheres, production labs, smaller labs, and now I have my own lab for the last 15 years. And basically, what kind of sets me apart from other labs, and having worked in production labs, is that in production labs, it's a lot of different people touching one particular case, where in my lab it's me. So all of the work is actually done by me with my hands. That one of the things with the AACD process is the confidence that it gives you in restoring these larger, complex cosmetic cases that Dr. Gaball and I do.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much. So just to clarify, so ACD is the highest level of accreditation. So what it stands for is American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry. And there's, again, it's a very, very rigorous process of accreditation. So you have to be able to provide the most amazing outcomes for all types of cases. And only very, very few people have that level of certification. And in fact, in San Diego County, Todd is actually the only one. So you're the only one in San Diego County who is actually fully accredited. So there's some people in LA, but no one here. So, and in our practice, we're very committed to highest possible level of service and ability to provide the result that's just outstanding. So therefore, I search for someone who is able to do that, and us working together makes all the difference. So the level of the product that we're able to provide is basically a commissioned, precise art piece that is unique. And it's kind of similar to maybe if you went to Target, you could get a print of something, that looks okay and doesn't look too bad, right? But then you could commission, first of all, a very talented artist to create an art piece that is unique and special and done by hand. So that's kind of like where the difference is. So it's not printed, it's not just mass produced, and it is one person creating it by hand. So it's the most amazing, beautiful, unique type of precise smile making type of arrangement. So Todd, would you be able to share just a little bit more what goes into the hand layering and
Sure.
how that's different from, like you mentioned, production labs, like what that means and what you do?
Sure. So one of the things that you mentioned was, everyone has, has their own personality. Like, we're all different. We're all made, with our unique, personalities, and our teeth are the same way. And one of the things that I pride myself in is, I can tell my work, in photography, but I don't feel like, feel like people can look at my work and know that it's mine, because they're very specific to every patient. There's a lot of detail. Everybody's teeth are different. They have different translucencies. They have different colors. They have different opacities. There's a lot of different things that go into it. One of the challenges that we have is, we're working with synthetic materials, and we're trying to mimic nature, and so that's one of the challenges. And inside of a tooth, there's a tremendous amount of characterization, and on the outside of the tooth is translucency, and so we build in the internal characterization, and then we cover it with the translucency, and that gives the appearance of it being I always tell people I make teeth, I don't make veneers. And I think I think our work really shows that, really natural characterization. And there are different ways of making teeth, and they're what we call monolithic, which would be one color. I do very little of that because it doesn't really exist in nature. It doesn't transmit light properly. So what we do is, spend hours and hours and hours cameras, building in, these natural characterizations, and, that allows the light to transmit and bounce off and, appear, have the appearance of a natural tooth. So.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, and that's what we hear from our patients. So when we actually deliver the product, so just to back up, we start with an end in mind, so we always know what we're going to get. There's no surprises. It's pre-planned, pre-designed before we even start, and in fact, you can even see what some of the cases may look like in your mouth with the mock-up procedure, where we could basically take the design, put it in your mouth, you can kind of see what to expect, but again, the final outcome is very predictable and it's not a surprise. And we also actually do custom shading, so Todd sees patients here for special shading appointments with his awesome camera. He takes photos just like an artist, right? He has to look at the person, their complexion, eye color, and basically create a beautiful outcome for their smile to be a part of their face. And what we see with our patients, like they smile and they're like, wow, this looks like teeth. So, and that's exactly what I say too. Like we're not giving you crowns, and if someone were to say, wow, like beautiful veneers or crowns, that is not aesthetic, because it should be undetectable. And again, there's no straight lines in nature, there's no one color in nature, so we just mimic nature by creating perfectly imperfect teeth that actually fit people's faces, and they look awesome. And again, like it's beautifully natural, and it's not detectable that it's actually a restoration and not part of their just natural smile. So most patients, when they come in and when they request an improvement to their smiles, usually they say something like, I want whiter teeth, right? So, but with white, well, you could be refrigerator white, and I don't think that's what they mean when they request that. So this is where, again, the skill set and the artistry comes in. There's a spectrum of what's considered to be light, and again, it has to go with complexion and eye color. So, so Todd, would you mind just describing shading and kind of like how we create beautiful natural shades?
Yeah. So, white, like you said, white is, it is. There's a variance of white, and a lot of what you see in the public and in magazines and these kind of things, like you can tell when somebody smiles and has this big bright white smile that they've had something done. A lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, and that kind of leads back to building in the natural characterization from the inside out. We can still have a nice white, bright smile, but we also have the natural characterization built into the tooth. If you don't have that, then it doesn't transmit light properly. It doesn't bounce off properly, and it looks fake. So white is a difficult conversation to have. What we use is, we use shade guides as a reference, and we let the patient kind of see what the shade guides look like. And what we try to do is guide them in a direction that is going to be a natural looking smile for the patient. Not everybody knows what that means. I think, there are a lot of variables that go into, designing a smile. I think we talked a little bit about that before. Was, we do all of the planning up front. We do, we consult on, with the photos, and we kind of come up with a game plan, and then I do what we call a diagnostic wax up, and then Dr. Gaball does an intraoral mock-up so that the patient can actually see where, kind of where we're headed, and they can kind of get a feel for, feel for, do they like the length, do they like the shape, do they like the width? Everybody has different shaped teeth. There are proportions, natural proportions in nature, and if we stray too far from those natural proportions, then we things start to look artificial. you start to, get that fake look, and it becomes very difficult to make a natural looking smile if we don't have all of those things taken into consideration. And that's kind of, we figure all of that out in the beginning, and then that kind of makes the process of making the final veneers, which is all of the artistry. Everything is already sort of predetermined, and then the final outcome, so we know exactly what, everybody knows exactly what they're going to get. So I think that's one of the great things with working with you is all of the planning that we do ahead of, prior to even seeing the patient, allows us to have an incredible result.
Yeah, thank you. And that's where, so the accreditation process as well as the advanced training that I have done comes into place. So there are actually known dimensions of what's considered to be aesthetic. Like for instance, we know the average size of a central incisor or the front tooth, and then with that we need to know, like, there are actually ideal or like golden proportions of what's considered to be most aesthetic, like how much of that tooth should be displayed at rest, or when the person smiles, how much of that tooth should be showing. So that is measured in millimeters, and it's known, so it's not like just randomly we choose something that goes with the person. So like we have all these guidelines, and then according to those guidelines and what looks best in that individual person's smile is how that's graded to be precise as well as unique to the person. Okay, well, Todd, thank you so much for taking your time and just sharing with our patients and the public in general of what super high quality work looks like and how much is involved in creating that, as well as how important it is, again, to work as a team with your doctor. And we actually have some photos of Todd's studio, so please take a look at those and some work that we have done together. So again, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.